my ETA is 9:01.
Oh.
The traffic speed up from, I be there faster.
Oh, no, you all right? I thought you were saying it like you were going to be later than that, man. No.
Oh, no, hell no.
Yeah, we about to pull up around the same time.
This shit did. And to these lights, there's a lot of traffic.
Hey, he can definitely be the voice of that.
West Side, it's your boy Big B from the Bluff, man. You can't mention the Bluff without putting the B in the real West Side, baby, for sure. Yeah, that's me. We in the Bluff with it for sure, man. Back at it, dead at 13, but I'm alive now.
What's going on, y'all? It's Christopher Life Willars. This is the Stay Free vlog, man, and today we in the Bluff. Let's get into it, man. What's going on, man?
Man, cooling it, man. Blessed to be free.
Hey, man, let's get right into it. Let the world know where we at right now, man.
Oh, man, we in the Bluff. New Jack City to be exact.
New Jack City. Why they call it New Jack City?
Because it was like one of the most convenient drugstores in Atlanta. I mean, like the drugstore, heroin, cocaine, crack. They say it's the a one-shop stop.
It's legendary.
Yes, of course.
When you come to Atlanta, and then I'm gonna tell you, before I even moved down here to the city, I seen a movie. It was Snow on the Bluff. You know that, brother?
Yeah, Kurt. I grew up with Kurt.
I feel like everybody, it's a big city, but at the same time, I feel like everybody kind of connected.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love about this spot.
Yeah, it made sense because the Bluff like a hidden gem, you know what I'm saying? No, you actually had to really know something about the Bluff to come to the Bluff. It's been here for years, you know what I'm saying? But that movie wasn't a good depiction of that was Bluff. That ain't what we do in the Bluff. See, this is really the Bluff. If you think about that movie was shot on the other end. That's Vine City.
That was, you know, now that I'm more familiar with the city, and I drove through here, it didn't look exactly.
Yeah, that's Vine City and it's the Bluff. So I never met a robber in my life in the Bluff. Like, everybody sold drugs out here. They sold dope. You grind up from a breakdown dime to a whole brick, you know.
Nobody was sticking each other up.
No, never did that.
Yeah.
I never met a robber.
That's similar to my neighborhood, man. It was more hustlers and robbers for real growing up, man. Shout out to Chicago, man. 103rd and Riverdale, man, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But I live in Atlanta now, so I'm really excited. We've been on a tour right now. Me and my brother Amir, 7 cities in 20 days. We done came from Phoenix. We done went to Dallas, out there in Oak Cliff. Today we're in Atlanta. We're headed to Richmond, and we on to Philly. We got a whole bunch of other spots we got to go. But I'm excited because Lil B is a legend. And what your shirt say, it say dead at 13. So not only is he a legend, but we about to talk about why he might not supposed to even be here to have this conversation today, man.
Exactly.
Let's get straight into it, Lil B. What's the significance of Dead at 13, the untold story of Lil B? And I know you got to, I ain't gonna spoil you. I'm gonna let you say everything.
But you know, like the Dead at 13, I feel like I died in the courtroom at the age of 13, you know, because I was the first juvenile tried as an adult and given a life sentence in Georgia under the Senate Bill 440.
The very first.
The very first. Well, they say the very first. However they put it on, though, because when I went in there, I met dudes that was in there longer than me. I mean, before I even got there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for some reason, they made me the poster child for the super predator era. The Senate Bill 440, which said juvenile from the age of 13 to 17 was a menace to society, the worst generation that ever see the face of the earth or whatnot. And so they came with this tough on crime thing, which was a crime bill.
What was going on? I mean, obviously you weren't the catalyst for this law, but what was, give me an understanding to the climate of the city right then for them to, or the state.
Well, it wasn't necessarily the city or the state in itself. It was a America thing. When the Senate Bill 440 passed, it was a bill authored by, pushed by Hillary Clinton to Bill Clinton, which included the crime bill, which actually what it was.
For everybody saying Bill Clinton was the first black president, y'all need to know how many black folk got locked up on his watch, man.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
and children too, lot. And we still trying to recover from it to this day. But they passed that law, and that law allowed the state to try me as an adult, to give me an adult sentence at the age of 14 years old, arrested me at 13, and the law provided that I be given a life sentence for 7 deadly sins like murder, kidnapping, rape, sodomy, arson, carjacking, I think some other stuff like that. And it was that law that they used me because I was poor. You know, my mom smoked crack. I come from the hood. You know, I was the perfect candidate for it. And then they just prepared me.
At 14,
yes,
sentenced to a life sentence.
At 14, I was arrested at 13. At 14, they sentenced me to a life sentence. I went to prison, adult prison at 14. Yeah, we rolling.
All right, man. So, what's the significance to this building right here, man?
Well, this building right here in particular, I lived here, actually. I lived in that building right there, 541 Griffith Street, apartment 3. You know, this was my mama house. This was the spot. This was the trap house, you know what I'm saying? You come to that window right there, that window did so many numbers, you know, you didn't even have to know how to sell dope. All you had to do was just put the dope out the window, because it's the money, the dope already there. The clientele here, any given day, this whole little area be filled with dealers and addicts all day running in and out. And we used to sit in the house and just pass the drugs through the window all day, just take the money through the window and pass it through the window. And we get like 500 every Sunday just for doing that, you know.
It's hard for a young person to turn down something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you grew up here. Mm-hmm. You in this spot. How much did the environment that you grew up in have a play into you having to sit inside of a courtroom and, you know, getting sentenced to that?
Well, it had a big influence on it had a big influence on who the person I am today. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a child and I'm growing up in an environment, all I see is drugs, all I see is violence, all I see is a lot of the things that you say is against the law out here. If I don't know nothing different, then I'm gonna do the things that I'm seeing the people before me do. The people that's older than me do. And that's what happened. They told me the police come with you. You don't make no statements to the police.
Right.
And to this day, I still don't talk to the police. Mm-hmm. You know, I know my Fifth Amendment right. That's the only thing they ever taught me. They didn't teach me the 3 branches of government, but they taught me my Fifth Amendment right.
Ironically.
To shut up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everything that had something to do with the streets, I learned it here. You know, and when it came to dealing with my case, I'm not knowing no better at the age of 13. I don't know what a trial proceeding is. You know, I hadn't been to school in 2 years. You know, I'm out here every day. Didn't nobody tell me, I'm in, to make it even better for you, I'm in trial and I'm asking my lawyer, because I kept hearing the word strategic. I'm 13 years old. I done been out here in the streets, and I say, hey, what the word strategic mean? Why y'all keep saying strategic? I don't know what it means.
So you sitting in the courtroom, you don't know what the word strategic is, and it reminds me of how many young people, kids, they're being subjected to these adult situations, and they don't really know the process. They don't even know if the person that's defending them is really for them. But anyway, I just wanted to chime in on that. So you didn't know the word strategic, you asking them? Yeah,
I'm asking my lawyers, like, what do the word strategic mean? But she was like, and when she described what strategic means to me, I'm just showing like my mindset at that time. I hadn't even developed my personality yet. You see what I'm saying? I'm still trying to figure out who I'm gonna be at the age of 13 years old. So everything that I'm regurgitating out in life is what I'm seeing around me. Everything that I'm hearing from my environment, everything that I'm seeing them do. I wouldn't have never knew how to sell no crack rock or how to cut it up and put it in the bag unless I seen somebody doing it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even know how to fire a gun.
Did you really see a world outside of the bluff?
No.
Like, did you, like, as far as growing up, you know, I tell people all the time, I didn't grow up under the most harsh circumstances. We used to go on vacations. Like, did you go on vacations? Did you venture to at least different parts, or was it always you just was here in the heart of the city?
I done been to different neighborhoods. Like my mom, like I told you, my mom smoked crack. So we done been all around Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? But everywhere we done lived in Atlanta, every day we came back to the bluff. If we lived in Inglewood, when we stayed in Inglewood, every day we got out of school, we came back to the bluff. If we lived on Holly Street, every day we come to the bluff. No matter where I live at, we always came to the bluff every day because my mom was fighting a drug addiction.
How did that impact you as far as having a parent? 'Cause there's a lot of young people that watch my stuff. They might have a parent that's struggling with addiction, substance use disorder. How did that impact you? Because I know a lot of people feel alone at times, and you might be able to share something to connect with them real quick.
To be honest with you, it didn't impact me until I was like, got a little older and started to understand my own feelings and emotions about life. My mom smoked crack my whole life, you know what I'm saying? So I can't remember a time that my mom went on those, so it was a norm for me, you know, and then I'm in an environment where everybody do drugs out here. Everybody, even the people that sell drugs, do drugs out here. It's different now. Yeah. No, it's still the same. The bluff is the bluff. That's not gonna change. The BLUFF, it means that for a reason.
So a little bit later, it's probably jumping.
It's jumping right now. We just ain't in the spot where it's jumping at. You feel me? Yeah. But yeah, man, it's she been on drugs my whole life, and then once I went to prison and I started to analyze my life, looking at it in hindsight, and I seen that I had never had a chance, and I was blaming my mama the whole time. My mom did what she could do. Addiction is real. Addiction is serious. Yeah, like it's really real. It's not as easy as some people think. You just decide to stop. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can see a woman who would watch her children go down the drain and still continuously use drugs, knowing this is a child that she's responsible for, and still feel okay with that shit and get up and go hit her another hit the next day, then that's something seriously wrong. You know, addiction is real. No question. Yeah, and I blame my mama for a long time until I got the mindset to understand that she had an addiction. She tried what she could, you know, and she did what she could, and I don't blame her. You know, I forgive her. Hey, Lil B. They named it New Jack City for a reason, because it was reminded you of the movie New Jack City. Like, everything you wanted to do was done in this building. You had a spot where you can shoot dope and smoke dope at. You had a spot where they had prostitutes in there. You had a spot where
all in that little building,
dope up, where they cut dope, cook dope. You know what I'm saying? All of it right there.
So this is where you grew up in the epicenter. It feel like, and I don't know, I'm on the outside looking in, but it feel like it's almost like the epicenter of the bluff.
It is.
It feel like it was like the nucleus of it all, and that's where you were growing at, and then you found yourself in the courtroom at 13. How did you end up was it a 30-second situation that ended you there? Was you living a certain way? Were you running with certain, like, how did that part happen?
It's a conglomerate of things that took place for me to be incarcerated at 13, and necessarily weren't relating to the crime in itself. How can I be at 13 years old responsible for anything criminal when I haven't even developed a personality or a mindset for life? Everything that I've known that may be against the law was taught to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that came into play. This environment, it led me in there, not because I did nothing in particular, but the circumstances of this environment. Here I am, a young child that smoked drugs. Mom smoked drugs. Dad's unavailable. The environment is what's giving me all the game and knowledge and understanding of life. I didn't do a thing but be a product of my environment. So that led me to prison for doing what the environment taught me to do. You know, it don't necessarily say I committed a crime, which I did.
So the environment led you into the courtroom.
Yes.
And
no, don't just necessarily say the environment. The things that created the environment, which led me into the courtroom, it go bigger than, I don't know nobody in the bluff that owns an airplane that go down to South America, get some drugs and fly it back out here. I never met now one of them people.
Right.
I don't know nobody that manufacture guns in the bluff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nobody that do none of that. So it's bigger than this environment making me, this environment being responsible for my incarceration. It's bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? This environment was created by somebody.
So what do you say to the people that say even if the environment was created, you're still making the decision?
What decision am I making at 13? What decision can I make at 13? I don't even know who I'm gonna be, I don't even know who I'm trying to be at 13 because I got so many different personalities in me. I'm having a piece of everybody that I'm coming in contact with every day in my life. So when I run up on somebody and I'm talking to them, I'm regurgitating the things that I'm hearing and the things that I'm seeing from other people in my environment. You know, so how am I making a choice? Y'all done made the choice for me. Ain't nobody introduced me to being saying I could be the first Barack Obama. If you would have told me I could be Barack Obama, maybe I would have been trying to do something political. But no, you taught me how to make my home economic class, baking soda, cocaine, and hot water. You know what I'm saying? I became a hood chemist. All my information, this was taught to me. Y'all gave me this. So no, I didn't make no choices. They made them for me.
A mentor of mine says you can't speak outside of the language that you were taught.
Exactly.
And that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, exactly.
Store ever open up again?
If the right people buy it, you know, I don't know who owned the store. This was a staple in the Bluff. Like, this was where everybody hung out at. I could go in here and get something for free. I ain't have to steal it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But when I went down there to that store, I had to steal it or either give them some crack for it. This store know my whole family.
Wow.
The people that ran this store, I go in there, they'll give me something to eat, they'll let me get something. But they also let me buy Bill too, though. You know what I mean? And cigarettes. They'll let me, yeah.
But there was love there.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Well, my mama can send me to the store. I go down to the Ann store, give me a beer and a pack of cigarettes. I can walk from up there, come down here to the store. My mama say give a beer and a pack of cigarettes.
And then get something to eat.
Yep, and I walk it back up there to my mama.
To all the bodega, the corner store owners in the hood that's blessing the kids, man. We appreciate y'all,
Yes.
man. Real talk.
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit about the journey. We don't got to go all the way in because you were incarcerated from how long to how long?
I was incarcerated from the age of 13 to 41.
So 13 to 41 years old. I need everybody to understand the depths of that and his perspective right now. So he grew up, to me, in a really volatile environment, but yet where there was still beauty. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where there was still good people, but an area that he was conditioned to only know but certain things, which led him to being in prison. That's how many years?
That's 26 years.
26 years, and from what year to what year? 97
to 2023. Well, I don't count the year that I did in the halfway house because I was slightly out,
slightly free.
But if you count the year in the halfway house, it'll be 27 years. But from 1997 to 2023, I released September 24th. I September 27, 2023.
So you've been home now. I can't do math.
I've been home now 2 years, going on 2 years. But I went back. I had a violation, where a misunderstanding of the violation, which is why I'm right here today, because if I would have violated, I would have sent me back to prison for life. A misunderstanding of the violation, I did like 7 months after I got out. You know, coming from prison and coming out here, you would think that you away from the authority, like you got your freedom to do what you want to do, and we forget that you're still on parole, active parole, and it's certain things that I would never be able to do as normal people would do, and I ended up moving without getting the proper authorization to move or whatever, and I was violated for that. And also on top of that, I was around somebody that had a gun. I can't even be nowhere near nobody, but I'm not knowing these things, you know, and that led me to be locked up in California for like 7 additional months.
Wow. Yeah. So I guess we're gonna start backwards and work our way back. Mm-hmm. And this part of the conversation is because I need people to understand the trauma and the obstacles we face dealing with incarceration and after. The first thing I want to ask you, because if y'all don't know, I'm a certified peer specialist in mental health for the state of Georgia. I'm really passionate about trauma work, and it's not just conversation. We really want to know, how are you after almost 27 years? Because me, when I was only home for about 2 years, I was still going through it. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you are, but how are you adjusting after all that time?
I'm adjusting, and I do go through it. I'm still going through it. I'm trying to figure it out. You know, I can't act like this is normal. I grew up in prison in a barbaric environment. You know, I was fed through a tray flat like an animal.
Right.
You know, ain't nothing normal about that. I don't know if I'm totally together or not, because I don't know what situation may trigger me. You know what I'm saying? But I do the necessary things to try to make sure I'm straight. I go to counseling every Thursday to try to make sure I'm my mental right out here, because I done seen people harm people for no reason at all. I done been confined in a cage for no reason at all. For me to think that I will come out here and be normal is insane for me to even think that. I never signed up for mental health now time I was in prison, because they told
we didn't have it. Did y'all have mental health?
We had mental health.
Okay.
Yes, but the thing about it in Georgia is looked at as if you were weak.
If you go.
Yeah, if you sign up for mental health, you ain't got the mental fortitude to deal with this.
Hold on. So if you weak, if you about to lose your mind,
exactly.
They prefer, the brothers in there prefer for you to lose your mind.
Exactly, you consider weak. You feel me?
So while we on that, explain to the world some of the traumas that we experience in prison. Georgia Department of Corrections, I've been on record to say if it's not the worst, it's one of the worst. Recently there was a riot there, and I don't understand all the politics, but the way I look at it is, it had to be a build-up. It didn't start, and you were in the system for 27, close to 27 years. 20. Yeah. What are some of the traumas you witnessed that you want the world to understand, like that we endure in prison?
The biggest piece of trauma that I have for me, man, is the loneliness. Like, just being in there and being lonely, you watching the world pass you by, and you can't even participate in it. No matter what you do or what you say, you're not able to participate in it. You can't go home and find and see your family and get some genuine love and some genuine conversation. Like, it's a lot that come with it, the despair, the hopelessness, because I had a life sentence.
Right.
And I still do got the life sentence, but having the life sentence and seeing people that have been locked up since the 70s still in there with me, and I got a life sentence in the 90s, and these people still, that's my future. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it, and so it's so much mental.
You didn't necessarily know if you'd ever.
I didn't know I was gonna ever get out. Life is life.
How do you mentally deal with that thought in there day after day, not knowing? Were you always fighting for your freedom, or at one point did you just go with the flow in there and accept it, or what was the mentality in there for you? Like,
my mom, Elaine Brown, my surrogate mother, Elaine Brown, without her, I wouldn't have been able to have the mental fortitude to withstand it. Gotcha. And she told me, she say, I need you to survive and don't catch now another case. Long as you survive and don't catch now another case, I'm gonna work to get you out. So a lot of my incarceration was only me surviving while she was working on the outside to try to get me. But at one point in 2011, I ended up going to High Max for 7 years. And that's when things started to kind of like... What prison was at High Max? Jackson State Prison. It's on Jackson State Prison compound, but it's not, it's different. You know, you wouldn't see none of that going on. But it's just total lockdown. You fed through a tray flap. Everywhere you go, you handcuffed and shackled. Everything is like total control. Showers in your cell. You're not coming out the cell for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Total control. And it was there in that cell while that I wasn't allowed to use the phone, go to visitation, get no mail. Was that your breaking point when you started the shift? Yeah, that's when I kind of like put my life in a different perspective. Like, I don't want to be here forever. I actually contemplated suicide. Yeah. Before I made the transition. Speak to that really quick, because I think sometimes society puts a certain face on suicide. Yeah, they do. And I think one of the most startling facts right now is that the suicide rates are really increasing more and more for people that look like us. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I ain't gonna put your age out there, I'm gonna put mine younger than us. Younger than me. I ain't gonna put bruh. But I do want you to speak to that and where you were at and how you were able to push through, especially while in incarceration. Yeah. I had went on High Max for being a person of notoriety. You know what I'm saying? Nothing in particular, just a person of notoriety. And they locked me down. But really they wanted to say I was a gang leader because Georgia had a gang influence that was, they couldn't control it. It just popped up out of nowhere and spread like wildfire. Right. And they only recourse was to say just lock everybody that have any type of influence down. And so they grabbed me, locked me down for 7 years. They say all the gangs was going at it with each other, and we were responsible for these gangs, and so they put us on the lock. Well, can't nobody deal with us but the CERT team or the supervisors. Anybody else outside of that, they couldn't deal with us. You know, so they were firing the officer for talking to us, and it was then that I sitting in that cell, no books, no reading material, no writing material, and then they spray paint my window black with the spray paint while I'm in it. I'm sitting there trying to look at a piece of paper or something, and the thing just getting dark in the room. So I look up and there's somebody out there spray paint my window. I'm like, hey man, this is my last little piece of hope I can get to see outside. They painted black, and I'm sitting there like, damn man, ain't no way they gonna be my end. Ain't no way they my life. You know what I'm saying? And I got life in prison already, and I actually contemplated, like, would it be better to just go ahead and die than to actually just sit here and suffer? You know what I'm saying? I don't know when I'm gonna get out. I'm locked up in prison, inside of another prison. You know what I'm saying? That's inside. I'm outside the hole. You know what I'm saying? You got the lockdown, you got prison, you got lockdown, then you got then you got high max. You know what I'm saying? I'm locked down in the prison, within the prison. Exactly, with no communication with the outside world, in that isolation, in that loneliness. It'll set in on you. You know, bro was there with me. The man brought me a bag of Al from outside. They were doing me so wrong. They wouldn't let me go to the yard to get my hour a day or night. The man go outside, put in a sandwich bag, tied up, brought me some fresh air from outside, and tied it on my door on the way to the shower and say, shout out, I brought you some fresh air back from outside. Come on, man. Yeah.
People don't know how desperate it is. And then for me, when I was in solitary confinement, I did over 3 years. And it wasn't high max in VA, it was just that. But you got to deal with your thoughts. And you start reflecting. It's almost like you start replaying, and I got exhausted because I had the same thoughts. And, you know, luckily I pushed through, and I'm glad you did too, because people really don't understand the trauma that we face. We not up here creating content and telling stories because we trying to get the views. I'm trying to make sure y'all understand, and not just me, but bruh like him. And then when we say dead at 13, think about how many juveniles are sitting in the system right now. Exactly. He got sent to the adult system, but trauma is trauma. The numbers for suicide is going up when it comes to our juveniles too that are impacted by the system. So thank you for being transparent. That's why we're having this conversation.
Right here. When I left, the park wasn't here, you know. But why it's significant to me is because this park, they replaced this park. They took away an apartment complex, 601 Echo Street.
Right where this park was at?
Right where this park is. And that's where I was born at, in the Bluff. March the 8th, 1983, I was born where this park sit. Where this park sit at, I was born in it. Right there.
So what did the building look like, and now it's a park?
It was a brownish, it was a brown building.
Look at that. That's totally changed and everything.
Yes. This used to be a rocky road. It was just rocky roads up through there, you know, field, stuff like that. And
how much of the city or this area has changed altogether?
A lot. A whole lot.
For the better, or?
Up this way, most definitely for the better. We wasn't no park in the Bluff when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? They got a whole park here, and like those buildings right there used to be green and white. They was the green and white apartments. Now they look a little bit better. You know, but I was born right here.
So we kind of full circle. Literally, you were born, raised, 13 years of life. And then
dead right here too. Don't forget that part.
Sent to the tomb.
Yes. I died at 13.
How does it feel to be at this park right now, or be in the place where you were born, to be back in the Bluff? It's a bittersweet moment. I still come through here, like I drive through. I never stop.
I
can tell because people been stopping and saying what's up.
Because I never stopped though, but I drive through. And then, you know, I've been gone so long, so I growed up. They remember seeing me as a child. They don't really know what I look like as an adult now. You know what I'm saying? So I can easily just breeze through here. It's a bittersweet moment because I'm still trying to identify how do I feel. You know, because one point I'm sad, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, that place fucked me up. That place took some of the best parts of my life from me, you know what I'm saying? But then I understand it, and I'm happy that I'm not in the environment, but I still know people are dealing with the environment the same way. So I really don't know how to feel. I want to be like, yeah, I made it back, but I made it back to what? You know what I'm saying? Did I make it back to the bluff for what? To do what the bluff been doing and end up back in that situation again, or end up like a junkie, you know what I'm saying, out here, because that's all that happened. A person, the bluff got them acronym BLUFF, better leave, you fucking fool. And nobody leaves. You know what I'm saying? Nobody leaves.
Has anybody made it out the bluff like that? Everybody to me is priceless and notable, but I'm saying that society would say, oh, he's a star or he's a doc. Like, has anybody made it that crosses your mind out of this environment?
It all depends. Yeah, people that made it, but it all depends on made it at what.
Gotcha.
You know, I know people that rap, you know, if that's making it, then yeah. I know successful, I ain't gonna say successful drug dealers, but I know people that sold drugs their whole life, took them a little prison bid and got out the game, and now they winning again in something else. You know, I call that a success story, even though he went to prison. But far as doctors, lawyers, and things that get you a career, no, I never met one. Well, I can't say that, but nah, I don't.
Yeah.
Is it?
None of this went here when I was here. I don't even know how, like,
Pecan pies and all that.
Straight
how
off
they
the
even
joint.
got it together to put this out here. You know what I'm saying?
That's probably why I love, you know.
None of this went here when I got out. Nah, this was the good part. There was like, it was, ain't no good part in the bluff, but like, wasn't too much going on over here. Yeah. It was going on over here now. Like, yeah, it was going on. It wasn't like no nigga wasn't posted right here. You had some people that used, people lived over here.
In the bottom of this, you know, this video right here, this vlog, we're gonna make sure we got Lil B's information as well, man. What's a message? Usually I say to the world, but really I want you to give a message to the youth, man. I want you to give a message to the, and I hate the title YNs. I don't call them that. I call them young men, whatever. But to the young brothers and sisters that's out here in the streets that may not understand fully what they are participating in, I need you to tell them a message right now. But more specifically, if you were looking at yourself at 13 and you could save your life, because you said dead at 13, I want you to give a message that would save your life.
My message has been the same thing as I always be telling every youth I come in contact with: have your own mind. Regardless of what the crowd doing, have your own mind. Don't let nobody make the decisions for you. Don't let nobody dictate how you supposed to feel. If you feel like this ain't the right thing to do, don't do it. If you say you don't want to do it, don't do it. It ain't nothing wrong with no. It's okay for a nigga to tell you, you scary. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall for the peer pressure. Have your own mind, man. And if you have your own mind, you'll be successful in everything you do. I didn't have my own mind. I let some niggas dictate my future for me, and it cost me 26 years of my life. So have your own mind. That's the best advice I can give you.
That's it, man. Lil B, you can't spell the bluff without the B
in it, man. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, my brother.
Glad to have this conversation.
Yeah, man.
Make sure y'all check in, tap in with Lil B, man, especially if you're out here in Atlanta, but anywhere. He's lending his voice to the youth. He's telling his story. And more specifically, he's using his lived experience, which is priceless when it comes to healing, to help others heal and grow, man. So make sure y'all tap in. Y'all already know what it is, man. Stay free live. We out. Peace.
Yeah.